I lost a lot of money. Not only what my income from this house, no. What I put in this house, it stopped all my other investments. I am not big investor, I'm small investor. So if I face one main problem like this, it affected me in everything.
Hello, fellow risk takers, and welcome to my worst investment ever. Stories of loss to keep you winning. In our community, we know that to win in investing, you must take risk, but to win big, you've got to reduce it. My name is Andrew Stotts from A Stotts Investment Research, and I'm here with featured guest Eslam Radwan. Eslam, are you ready to rock?
Yes, I'm ready. Let us rock.
Yeah, let's go. So let me just tell you, audience, a little bit about yourself. Eslam Radwan is a civil construction manager and has 13 years experience in the construction field in the Middle East and the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. In addition, he's an international real estate investor investing in the US, Turkey, Thailand, Brazil, and the Caribbean. His investments include hotel apartments, single-family houses, multifamily houses, and land plots. All right, Eslam, take a minute and fill in any little tidbits about your life.
Civil construction manager, as you said. I'm working in kind of Bahrain in Middle East. I'm living with my family, my wife and 2 kids. Actually, I'm enjoying working in Gulf. I spent 13 years in Middle East between Egypt and Dubai and Saudi Arabia and Istanbul and Cairo and then Bahrain. I work for many companies and this is for my official career. Meanwhile, since also 15 years, I'm investing in real estate sectors. I started in Egypt, then Turkey, then USA, then Thailand, then Brazil, then Caribbean. On target is one day I have to stop the construction field and concentrate for my own business. This is brief about my life.
Got it. So I guess I would say the way I look at it, I guess you're focusing on a specialty, and that is investing in the real estate sector. And you're focusing that across many different countries.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Real estate's something I don't know that much about. I've made a few investments. Luckily, I didn't lose on any, but I can tell you most of them I didn't make much on either. So I'm interested to hear. All right. So now it's time to share your worst investment ever. And since no one goes into their worst investment thinking it will be, tell us a bit about the circumstances leading up to it, and then tell us your story.
What happened, Andrew? I will tell you. When I start any investments in any place in the world, always I'm going to visit the locations, select the developers, ensure that the investment is secure and it's clear, all document is legal. And at the same time, if it is a house, I have to find good management company. What happened actually, it is still till now, the problem is still, I could not solve it since 3 years. I decided to start investing in USA. I took about a year to find good locations. Then I found one company in Dubai. This company named HMG Properties. I found it in Cityscape Real Estate Show. Cityscape is the biggest real estate show in Middle East. I found it many times in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, in many cities it is there. So I meet them. They offer their houses, single family, multi-family, plots in USA and many countries. For first time in my life, I decided not to visit the location and to trust friends, only friends, and company credits. So they offered me one single family house in Michigan, in Detroit City. The cost was $65,000 for one house. They give me all details, all documents, everything is legal. After I checked all documents and everything, I took decision and I purchased the house without visiting Detroit. I was in Dubai. This is my first mistake. After I signed the contract and everything, I give them the authority to change all legal documents to my name in USA. After 3 months, they're supposed to give me the title deed, tested one, but they did not do. It took up to 6 months, 7 months, and it is actually 3 days, business days to get this document. For 1 year, I was getting my rent. Whatever I agreed with them, they were managing my house and sending me all details. And Andrew, after 1 year, I realized all these details, all report is fake, all this fake. The house is closed, nobody inside. I got my title deed actually. After 6-7 months, I got the original one. But during this year, everything, I'm getting my rent, I got my document. I decided to buy another house in New York City, multifamily, from same company, and I decided to get one plot from same company in North Carolina. After 1 year or 1.5 years, this company started collapsing because it cannot continue like this. If it is fake company, it cannot continue. After she collapsed and started not paying the rent for 2-3 months, and I did not get my title deed for other house and plots, I called my lawyer in Michigan. I asked him, please move, act immediately, start searching about this company, find my house, where is my house? He visited the house, he finds the house closed. He went to the company headquarters in Michigan. He found no headquarters, nothing, only address for accountant, and accountant informed us it is not good company, they closed, and they were managing hundreds of houses in Michigan, but they never paid for the management company. Local management company stopped managing their houses, and all houses now is in mass conditions. My lawyer, he took action. He sent notice to the company, to the address. He went to the current management company. He took the key and he closed the house. I find that the house in bad conditions. I found that there was a tenant since several months. He was there, but he left, and the house in bad conditions. I spent approximately up to now $15,000 since 1.5 years. This problem happened since 2 years, and I spent 1.5 years, actually maybe 3 years, and I spent 1.5 years trying to develop the house. I developed, finished everything. Then I give to tenant, and I give to another company. Also, I was not there. I trusted my lawyer. The new company did not succeed to recover all problems. Still, I cannot find good tenant to take the house. Again, the house is empty. What I surprised about, what is the big problem? What I found, that the house price in market, it is $45,000, $40,000. I paid $65,000. So till now, after I spent $15,000 from since 1.5 years, I put again with new management company. I assigned one company since a few months. I bought maybe $2,000-$3,000. Until now, I could not find solution for this house. And if I try to sell, I cannot get any good price. At least, I need to what I paid, not possible. Maximum 45,000. I have to lose maybe 30% or 35% from my capital money. I cannot offer for rent now because I have to spend a lot of money again. I have to find qualified tenant. Difficult. I secured actually my other house and my plot. This is something I secured already. But my main issue now, single family house in Michigan, the worst investment I had now since 3 years, and I cannot find solution till now because I took wrong decisions and I did not follow my procedures for my normal investment.
Really appreciate you sharing this, because I guarantee you there's many other people in a similar type of situation. They just don't know it, and it's happening to them right now. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the company was a scam from the start, or do you think that the company was legitimate and then they started to find themselves in some kind of problem and then they kind of folded and fell apart and ran away?
It was not a scam company or fake company from the beginning. Maybe it is real company because they had the lawyers, they had the offices before, and they are purchasing the houses from the local market. What I believe, they have bad management because they don't have official office in USA. They played with the law, so the USA law cannot find them anywhere, cannot do anything to them.
Let's talk for a moment about the lessons that you learned from this experience. I have already heard you say some of it, particularly that you didn't follow your procedure, but maybe you can just summarize for the audience the lessons that you learned from this.
Lesson number 1, do not buy anything unless you visit, unless you checked all documents with your lawyer. Your attorney at law has to check everything. And if it is houses in USA, single or multi, you have to assign third party for an inspection, get the inspection report, then you get the evaluation of the price for the house from the as per market conditions, check your ROI per year. Then after you purchase the house, if you took this decision, you have to find strong management company from the local market with good credit. This is the lessons learned.
Great. Well, let me summarize some of the things that I took away from that story. I think the first thing is that investing in real estate is a very different thing from investing, for instance, in the stock market or in a startup business. And with investing in real estate, one of the critical items you have to, when you invest in the stock market, you hope that the stock market itself and the investors observing the companies in the stock market protect you to some extent from fraud or other things. Not always, but many people, the spotlight is on the companies that are trading in the stock market. But when you're investing in the property market, there's less of a spotlight. Therefore, you have to do more due diligence. In that case, as you've explained, the idea of making sure that you go to the location, inspect it. So let's just say there's a higher level of due diligence. That's the first thing. The second thing is that what I also take away, and I think it's important for everybody listening, is the idea that property investing is an illiquid type of investment. It's not easy to sell. Unlike, let's say, a stock. If you bought a stock in the stock market, you don't like it, you can sell it most of the time. Now, there are some times that the stock market is illiquid or particular stocks are. But one of the benefits is liquidity. Now, the problem that you're facing right now is the difficulty of, getting the right price in the market as soon as you want it. So I think that when I look at that, I think of those things. The other thing I just would highlight is that, as I always say, a failing business, as this company that you dealt with could have been, a failing business is not illegal. In other words, we know that business can fail. We do business with each other, and we know that things can go wrong. But what is wrong and illegal is fraud and deceit and that type of thing. So my lesson that I always try to share is that when you're facing financial trouble as a business, you have to communicate. If you do not communicate about it, you are starting to get yourself into trouble. So that's a third kind of separate point that I see a lot of friends that get involved in business and then they get involved in financial trouble with business. And the point is that investors in business and doing business, they know they're taking risks. So it's not illegal to have a failing business, but fraud and other things are definitely illegal. Is there anything else that you'd add to my takeaways from that, Eslam?
One thing, Andrew, subsequently, what happened when I faced this problem, I put all my money for 2-3 years in this direction in Michigan. Subsequently, all my other investments in Brazil, in Caribbean, in Thailand stopped. I could not continue because I have to find solution for this problem. So I lost a lot of money. Not only that, what my income from this house, no. What I put in this house, it stopped all my other investments. I am not big investor. I am small investor. So if I face one main problem like this, it affected me in everything. This is what last thing I want to highlight.
I think it's a good point because it's a little bit about the point of diversification. If you go into the property market and let's say, you're not a super rich person like we aren't, and you go into the property market, one house or one condo or one investment can be a huge amount for you. And if you bought a condo in a particular area, let's say, thinking you're going to make money from it and it's a bad area, it can destroy your whole financial position.
Yes.
And also, obviously, it destroys your feeling. It takes a lot of your emotional energy to go through what you've just described. So I want to thank you. And I'm going to wrap up here by just saying this is another story of loss to keep our listeners winning. To find more stories like this, previous episodes, and resources to help you reduce your risk, visit myworstinvestmentever.com. As we wrap up, Eslam, thank you again for coming on the show. I know it's painful talking about our losers, but our listeners are learning to win as a result. Do you have any parting words for the audience?
Gentlemen, any investments has risk, but you have to reduce your risk in order to win. In order to win, you have to cover all points. Don't trust anybody, only trust yourself and ensure everything is legal. This is the main. Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap on another great story to help us create, grow, and protect our wealth. Fellow risk takers, I'll see you on the upside.